Because the closer we come to Christ, the more faulty we appear in our own eyes. And we start just, Lord, have mercy. And what do you have to do? Help my unbelief. God is what? Previous. God is the one telling me to pray. Lord, please, as I press in, Lord, I can't see any sin. I know I can't be perfect. I know I'm filthy. And then you look over and you see somebody else and you see that they're coming after you. You fled to the hills. You seem all alone. We're all dispersed. Everyone's standing on their own. There are a few in little companies huddled together, and they're saying, we need to pray. Something's wrong. I feel filthy, but I can't find anything to confess. And the people of God are agonizing, and they're praying, and Jesus is looking at this. The plagues are falling. The earth is in chaos. And the majority of professed Seventh-day Adventists, they are running to find shelter because they understood the prophecies. And brothers and sisters, I really believe that when you talk about the wheat and the tares, I believe that these Adventist ministries that preach what they call present truth online, but the bulk of their ministry is condemning the church, pointing out sins of the church, talking about people, no love, no power, they're not winning souls. I believe those are the tares because they sweep the people who want to study. The people who are sincere, it seems like they grab them. And they're not doing what God told us to do. What did God tell us to do? God said, go ye therefore and teach all nations. God said, listen, ye are my witnesses whom I have chosen. God said, do what? Cry and sigh and plead for the abominations, not expose the church's dirt and sins. 10 years ago, the Sabbath school lesson was written. Did you read the Sabbath school lesson? 10 years ago it was written. I was ashamed at the part this week that said the leaders of the church are an example of what unity should be like as we work together. 10 years ago when this was written, God knew the condition of his church. He knew that there would be a split. He knew that there's about to be a shaking and a divide in God's remnant church. God's not insecure. He's not nervous. He's not even concerned because what he's doing, brothers and sisters, is he's allowing a shaking to take place, and it's going to look as though the church is going to fall, but it's not going to fall. Why? Because the majority of its members haven't joined yet. You look around at the people who profess to be Seventh-day Adventists. Where's the commitment? Their homes are nicer than God's house. They don't have a problem with God's house lacking, but if something happens at their house, they make sure they have it. They're not concerned with God having the best. Some people built brand new houses while God's church was falling apart. But that's God's professed people. They're the reason why God is not allowing the multitudes to come in. But brothers and sisters, very soon, there's going to be a cry. And it's going to come in a very, very unique form when people aren't ready for that cry. And the world is going to hear that cry one time, unlike us, where you're hearing it week after week after week. And you're so arrogant, you think you could decide, am I going to follow God? Or will I go home and do this one more time? Or we go home and kind of forget God. And by the way, how do you keep the Sabbath? How do you keep the Sabbath? Do you really? Are you ready when the sun is about to set on Friday? 6 days do you labor? 6 days are you laboring for what? I'm laboring to be ready to meet God on the seventh day. Am I doing all my work to make sure I am resting when the Sabbath comes in? Does the Sabbath end for you when the church service ends? Some of you never come back and close the Sabbath. What are you doing during that time? Is the Holy Spirit wherever you are the way the Holy Spirit has been here when we close the Sabbath? I mean, the Holy Spirit is settling here. I mean, thick, and God's not insecure. Why? Again, he doesn't care if it's only 10 or 11 people because the majority that are with us, we can't see. And then there are multitudes that are about to come in. And we're not going to be able to register them, Sister Dozier. You're not going to be able to register them as a clerk. We're not going to be able to register them. Thousands are coming in, brothers and sisters, and they're ripe, and they're ready, and they're starving. I mean, the world is making them ready for us. The world is making veganism popular. It's no longer anybody. They don't look at you strange when you're at a restaurant. They put it on the menu. Everything with this little label, that means it's vegan. That label, it's vegetarian. They're telling you why. Because the world has made God's message popular. I said today, you know what? As much you could tell me about the paganistic aspect of Christmas all you want. If Satan knew, if he understood, he never, ever would have promoted Tammuz's birthday. Never. Why? Because every year at this time, Christ is lifted up and glorified in a way that scares him to death. Every time. I don't care about Santa Claus and gifts and all that foolishness. You walk through malls and stores where it used to be 24 hours of foolishness and hip hop and all kind of other crazy stuff, and now you're hearing Oh Holy Night. Now you're hearing Jesus Silent Night, and you're hearing all these different messages that are going into the minds of people, preparing them for that final cry. Did you read about the thief? Did you pick up the part where he heard and learned about Jesus? Did you pick up the part where it said he learned about Christ, but then he went to church? And when he got to the temple, he saw that the people didn't look anything the way this Christ that he learned about looked. So he left the church because of the people. False, fake people. He left, and his conviction was still there. And she said he started trying to drown out the voice of God by sinking deeper and deeper into a life of sin. And sometimes you see the people that used to come to this church, and you see them out there and you go, wow, they used to be a part of the church. And they're simply trying to do what the thief did, because the church drove them away from God instead of pulling them to God. And finally, he met Christ for himself. And the old teachings came back. You see, brothers and sisters, this great battle where Christ is about to come, it's real. And whoever doesn't have this fine white linen on, the angels are not letting come. They're not going to be a part of the first resurrection.